El cliente Virgo cuando te hace un review.
The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and the Yummy of Afternoon Tea, Burlington, Ontario, Canada edition. Yesterday I had afternoon tea for two at Cupcake Cafe inside the Mapleview Mall in Burlington, Ontario, Canada. I will give you my incredibly low star rating at the end. Let's dive into this very disappointing experience. Starting with the good, this will be short and sweet as there was
Toda
only
la
one
reseña
good
es bruta,
aspect here,
no le da
and it was
tregua.
that there was real clotted cream served. To me, it tasted like the Blue Label jar, which is called Double English Cream. It was certainly nice to see real clotted cream being served here, albeit there was not enough to cover our scones. On to the bad. This one is also pretty easy because every other aspect of this experience was pretty bad. The food was bad and the service was pretty horrible. For this
¡Qué
one, let's
pesadilla!
start with the price this time. This afternoon tea, which is incorrectly called high tea on their website, which should have been my first clue that this wasn't going to be great, is prepaid online and is $55 per person. This is a description of the menu on the page where
Imagínate que te llegue un cliente
this becomes
así.
relevant later. Thank God I didn't add gratuity beforehand. With the price and menu in mind, let's move on to the tea. We each got to choose a tea from the tea tray. There were 7 options. This is insufficient.
Virgo encuentra el más
because there was
mínimo
only one
detalle.
caffeine-free tea. My tea guest doesn't have caffeine, so it was disappointing for her that she had no choice and had to select the peach apricot herbal tea. Not even a rooibos tea is offered.
El más mínimo error te lo hará saber.
In addition, there is not a description, but you can smell the teas. Overall, there needs to be at least 4 or 5 more tea options here, so everyone has some choice when it comes to their tea. I went with Earl Grey, which is no surprise. It was loose leaf and it tasted as it should.
Todo
We had
tiene
to
que
ask
estar
for milk
perfecto.
when none was offered, which for some reason we got steamed milk, which is a little bit weird, and the milk was served in these paper cups. That's
Válgame,
not acceptable.
vasitos de
Why are there
papel.
no real milk pitchers here for tea service? Unfortunately, our teapots were served at the same time or about 20 seconds after our food, which I do not like. I prefer to sip a cup of tea
Para
for a couple of
Virgo,
minutes
si no
or a
está
few minutes
perfecto,
before the
es
food
mierda.
is presented. Improvements to tea can be made here. Let's move on to the food. For savories, we got the 4 that were listed on the website, which was a chicken salad on a pretzel bun, egg salad on a croissant, a cucumber cream cheese,
Qué rico.
and I got a tuna melt on a croissant because I don't eat salmon. But my tea guest does, and you can see the salmon on her plate. Overall, the sandwiches were not good. The bread on the cucumber sandwich was dry and stale, and the pretzel bun was way not fresh. I'd say like on day 4, past freshness. The bun itself was huge, so eating it open face was a little bit better
Pero a veces
for a
exageran.
meat to bun ratio. All of these items were only flavored with salt and pepper, so they lacked any flavor really. Very bland except for black pepper. But I tried to eat a few bites, knowing I wasn't going to be full in any way if I didn't eat some of these savories. I did not enjoy anything on this tier. However, I'm just one person, and this might be right up your alley. On to the scones, we each got 1 plain scone, and a shared
veces
pot
ningún
of strawberry
chili les
jam and
embona.
the clotted cream that I mentioned earlier. They looked ridiculous on these huge dinner-sized plates. If you followed me for a while, you know I prefer when 2 scones are served per guest, and at this price point there definitely should have been 2 scones. The
Imagina
scone
que
itself
fuera
was
tu
pretty
cliente.
dry, but was saved by the cream and jam, and it was edible. Since our server never returned to check on us, I went up to the counter to ask for some butter. Since we didn't have enough cream, I was given some butter packs, which once I got warmed in my hand, I was able to add to
Por
my
eso,
scone.
sufren y
The
la
scone
pasan mal.
wasn't the worst. My tea guest thought hers was much too dry. Maybe I got lucky and got a better scone, or maybe she's too picky. Either way, mine was edible. And then on to the top tier, the sweets here were also bad. We each got a petite choux and a macaron. Again, looking very sad on these huge dinner plates. At this price point, there should be at least
Es duro,
4
es crítico y
sweets served.
perfeccionista.
And if you recall the menu posted from earlier, there was supposed to be a chocolate-covered strawberry here too, which was missing. Since the server never returned to our table to check on us, I went up to the counter to ask about the missing
fresa
strawberry.
puta madre,
We
la
were
fresa.
told we were given an extra savory substitution for the missing strawberry, which wasn't true.
Te
because
digo,
we were
para
served the
Virgo, si no
savories
está
as
bien
per the
hecho,
menu.
no sirve.
And at a place called Cupcake Cafe. How do you not serve a cupcake? I decided we needed another sweet, and we needed a cupcake because it was my tea guest's actual birthday. I chose the double chocolate fudge because we always need some chocolate
Es
at
muy
tea time,
quisquilloso.
which cost an additional $4.25. Why wouldn't they have just given us a cupcake for the missing strawberries? Anyway, I split the cupcake for us to share, then we proceeded to eat our sweets. Nothing tasted good.
Es muy
I was
difícil
shocked
darle
the cupcake
gusto.
was so dull, since cupcakes appeared to be their specialty. This sweet showing was incredibly disappointing.
Todo
The
un
service
reto
here was
tenerlos
also a bad
contentos.
aspect because it was non-existent, as you've probably picked up on. The server never came to check on us, never asked if we needed our teapots refreshed. It was not a busy day with at least 3 staff working. Very
Y
disappointing
te da,
to
te
add
da,
to a
te da.
large list of
No se
bad
cansa de
things
darte
going
duro.
on here. For the ugly aspect, there is nothing unique or nice about this venue or ambiance. I guess you cannot expect too much when you're having afternoon tea in a mall. And finally, the best
No sé
bite
cómo
here,
sobrevive en
I guess,
este
had to be
mundo
the
lleno de
scone, since it's
imperfecciones.
the only thing that I actually fully ate. And with the cream and butter, it wasn't so bad for me. My tea guest, again, was not a fan. So for $55 per person, this
Pobrecita la
afternoon
dueña.
tea experience is very overpriced. It had very few redeeming qualities, and I would not recommend this venue to you. However, I did speak
Cruz,
to another
cruz.
patron who said that her